This story's been collecting dust in the back of my head for years, buried deep for a reason. Back when I was a teenager, my friends and I had this weird obsession with exploring places that time forgot. Abandoned hospitals, crumbling factories, schools where the walls seemed to breathe dust. We called it urban adventure. But honestly, it was just us being reckless kids chasing adrenaline. There were 4 of us that night. Me, Leo, Marco, and Andre. We'd seen pictures online of this abandoned middle school about 40 minutes away. A massive brick structure swallowed by weeds and silence. The locals whispered about it. Strange graffiti, flickering lights, even rumors of late-night chanting. That alone made it irresistible. We packed light, flashlights, spray paint, and a couple leftover fireworks. All of us pretending we weren't nervous. That was the thing about fear. You just joked louder to cover it. When we pulled into the parking lot, the air felt thick, unmoving. The moon hung low, silver light bleeding over cracked asphalt and broken glass. The place loomed in front of us, its windows hollow and watching. "Creepy as hell," Marco whispered. Andre chuckled nervously. "Man, it's fine. It's just a building." That's when Leo spotted it. A section of the chain-link fence had been cut open. "Well, look at that," he smirked. "VIP entrance." One by one, we slipped through. Inside the fence, the silence was deafening. Even the crickets had stopped. The air smelled like wet concrete and rot. Our flashlights carved paths through the dark, catching shards of glass and graffiti-smeared walls. Desks were overturned, but the sound just bounced back at me, swallowed by the empty halls. The deeper we went, the heavier it felt, like the air itself was watching us. There were words scrawled on the walls, names, strange symbols, even numbers that didn't seem random. Some were faded, decades old. Others looked fresh, still shining under the flashlight beams. "Yo, that one's still wet," Andre said quietly, pointing to a dark streak. Leo tried to lighten the mood, probably some wannabe Satanist trying to freak people out. We all chuckled, but it didn't sound real. Then came the basement. The moment we stepped down the cracked stairs, everything changed. The temperature dropped fast. You could actually see our breath. The smell was metallic, heavy, like old rust or blood. Our lights swept across the floor and stopped. Dead center of the room was a massive, black, uneven, hand-painted, some carved right into the concrete. Melted candles sat in clumps, long since burned out. Nobody spoke. Finally, Marco broke the silence. His voice barely more than a whisper. "Let's just go upstairs, man. Seriously." No one argued. Soft, scraping footsteps, low hum of flashlight beam. The second floor felt different. Open, but wrong. The air was warmer, but every sound echoed too long, like the walls were breathing. We found a classroom with a clean wall, blank, untouched, perfect for tagging. Leo shook a can of paint and grinned. Let's leave our mark before this place collapses. The hiss of spray paint filled the room as colors bloomed against white plaster. Andre laughed. Man, this is kinda beautiful in a messed up way. I bent down to grab another can from my bag, but my bag wasn't there. Hey, where's my stuff? Leo turned around, frowning. Yeah, right here. I swear it was right here. We searched every corner, under desks, along the wall, even outside the classroom. Nothing. Come on, Andre said, his laugh uneasy. You probably dropped it somewhere. Chill. I didn't drop it. No one said anything after that. The silence pressed in. Then, somewhere down the hall, clack, metal hitting tile. Marco froze. Did you hear that? We all turned toward the sound. It echoed faintly, like something or someone moving just out of sight. Leo whispered, "Probably just the building settling, right?" No one believed that. We stepped into the hallway. My flashlight beam trembled against the wall. That's when I saw it. Still dripping with black paint. And just beneath it, in the corner, was my missing bag. I didn't say a word. Andre let out a shaky laugh. Okay, whoever's doing this, congrats, you got us. But no one answered. We stood there frozen, the sound of our breathing filling the space. And then, somewhere behind us, came a faint whisper, low, slow, like a voice dragging across the dark. We ran. We told ourselves it was just nerves, just the wind, just the dark playing tricks. But deep down, we knew the truth. Someone else was in that building. And they lake my brother and I used to visit back in our hometown, hidden deep in the woods, away from any main road. It was the kind of place locals didn't bother with. Too far, too quiet, too inconvenient. But for us, that's what made it perfect. We'd take live bait, worms or crickets, and spend hours catching bluegill until the sky turned orange. Looking back now, I wish we'd never gone there that night. It was a late Friday evening, warm but windless, and the forest was already dim by the time we reached the lake. I remember the air felt off, thicker, like even the sound of our boots on the dirt path got swallowed whole. We didn't think much of it. We just laughed, cracked open sodas, and set up our rods on the flat rocks that curved along the lake's edge. Were normal, lazy, quiet, peaceful. But then I noticed something strange. Out on the far side of the lake, the water was moving. Not just little ripples either. It looked like something was shifting just beneath the surface. I pointed it out to my brother, and we both squinted. "That's not a fish," he muttered. At first, I thought it might have been a big snapping turtle, or maybe a beaver. But then, the ripples stopped, and something dark started rising out of the water. It wasn't an animal. It was a shadowy figure stood waist deep in the lake, completely still, facing away from us. I felt this cold drop in my stomach. What was someone doing out there at night, in the middle of nowhere? We hadn't seen a single car or flashlight on the trail. I whispered, "Jake, you see that, right?" He nodded slowly. "Yeah, maybe they're swimming?" But they weren't moving like a swimmer. They were just swaying side to side, as if the water was pulling them along with it. And then, suddenly, they turned their head, just enough for the moonlight to catch the face. Pale, dripping, eyes open but empty. I stumbled back, knocking over a tackle box. The sound echoed, and that's when the figure began moving. No splashing, no kicking, just gliding across the surface like it wasn't bound by gravity. Jake grabbed my arm. "We're leaving, now." We bolted down the path, not daring to look back. But as we ran, I heard a voice echoing from the lake. Soft, drawn out, almost playful. "Come back. It's warmer down here."